Hello and welcome back to more Pit of 100 Tiles. We have reached a new decade of levels in this set, which we're kicking off with Constant Vigilance. But before we do that, you'll notice that in the upper right there's a best time here, and the reason for this is because I had tried to record this earlier in the day but was interrupted, so I'm going to try it again. Well, with that in mind, let's go ahead and get started. This level's basic principle is that you need to make observations from which you can make inferences that will better equip you to make the proper decisions. For instance, you can see there at our right that eventually we're going to have to choose to go along one of these four corridors, and the second one leads to the exit, so we're going to have to remember that. Here, fireballs turn right, so just be sure to snatch that chip away. This room's kind of interesting because we're being forced to push these blocks down into irretrievable places here, at least until we can uncover the dirt on the other side. And when we do, we'll have to remember that blocks numbers 1 and 5, at least when ordered from left to right, have keys under them, whereas the others have fire. Well, this doesn't really do us any good because we're going to get killed if we try that, so let's avoid that completely. Now here we got some bugs and paramecia circling around here. And for the most part, they're moving in directions that make it safe to collect the chips. If the gravel weren't there, then they would be all moving outward. But these two are a different story because these two are specifically circling around that chip. And collecting it would result in death, since there's always a bug on a square adjacent to that chip, just by virtue of the way they're spaced apart. In Lynx, that's actually a different story, because in Lynx everything moves in 1/5 increments, so it is possible to jump in there in between moves, but it is very tricky. However, it is intended. This room, you'll need to know that teleports are ordered in reverse reading order before you can tackle something like this. And from here we can observe what directions are safe and which ones aren't. So by starting here in the middle, we notice that the next teleport is northeast in reverse reading order. Right to left, bottom to top. And going up or right through here are the only choices we have, but up leads to death, whereas right leads to safety. From that one, we can go either left, up, or right, and right and up lead to death on the northwest corner, whereas left leads to safety. From that one, we can go either right or up, and up is the one that leads to safety in the southeast. And from there, we can go either up or down, and both of them are required to get the items on the southwest corner. So let's try this out. I'll go here first. There's a force floor slide that we saw over there, so let's go ahead and take that for a quick exit back down. There we go. And in this room, we've got a bunch of teeth behind toggle walls, but that one over there looks like it has the potential to open the toggle walls up if we went too far, so we're going to have to make sure we don't do that. As long as we stay up to this point and don't go any further right, we're good. It's only when you get to that second to last column that things start to get a little, well, dangerous. And no, this is not an opportunity for everybody to get dangerous. Well, we got one chip on the way back, and now we should be able to get into here. So let's see, blocks 1 and 5. Let's see what's behind these doors. We got some tanks here. And I could try pressing that button above me, but you'll notice that there are two tanks that would press two buttons at the same time, which would cancel each other out and cause all of them to continue moving in that direction, which would be all the way to the left, and that would kill us, so let's not do that. Let's see, this is the way to go to make sure we get out. And over here we got an ice path matching game. And you'll notice that the left path and the right path both lead to bombs, so that leaves the middle by process of elimination. Let's take care of that, and we should be good to go. Once again, path number 2. Alright, looks like we were pretty vigilant, and we can move on to Life, the Universe, and Everything, which is conveniently placed at level 42. If you don't know what that is a reference to, then I highly encourage you to get out from whatever rock you're hiding under and either read that book or watch the movie, because it is amazing. I'm not going to let that walker free, because, well, there's really no need for either the walker or the teeth, since they can't go anywhere from here. Looks like we can get some blocks if we want to get a bridge built to the suction boots, which we'll need because we can't get the flippers without them. Looks like there's a whole area here, but if we're going to get those suction boots anyway, I'm not going to worry about doing that. You could do it, but it's really not worth the trouble if you just want to play casually. Thankfully, it is an option, though, for optimizers. Speaking of optimization, one of the things that you may have noticed about this set is that every single level that involves a random element is untimed. Chorale was untimed, square dancing was untimed. I don't think every level needs to be untimed. I think that's a little extreme. But it's nice that the designer thought of that, though. This one I'm not really sure it needs to be, although it is a bit long, so maybe this one's a bit more appropriate. Still, for a long level, it's a pretty good one. It's got a nice flow, it's got nice non-linearity. It's probably one of my favorite variety levels, just because it doesn't really overdo everything, and it's not just one of those levels that just strings a bunch of stuff together and tries to outdo other similar variety levels. Well, it looks like we got some blobs, and we're going to have to be careful to get that ship behind the blue door there without it killing us there. And here we got, we got invisible walls up there. I'm not really bothering to touch them, and you can if you want, but you'll notice that there almost have to be just based on the way that bug's moving around. We got appearing invisible walls here. But as the title says, everything is in this level, so you can expect to see an appearance from every type of wall and, well, everything that's not a weird, burn a chip tile or something similar like that. Things that are proper game elements. We've got a paramecium, but it's circling around the dirt, and we don't need to clear up the dirt or use the paramecium for anything else that I can see, so I'm just going to let it be perfectly content there, circling around. And we got 2 blocks left, which I believe is all we need. Yep. And then we can finally get those suction boots and be on our way. Good, good, good. Alright. We are about halfway there, I think. That was pretty much the big, or the most time-consuming portion of the level. The rest of it's pretty easy. We'll need a yellow key to get there, but hopefully we can find one. And we did find one. Good stuff. I'm not sure if you can get... Yeah, you can get the yellow key without the suction boots here. Yeah, it is entirely possible to solve this room without suction boots, because you can get to everything that easily, but it is kind of nice just to walk around and just do it casually like this. It makes for a more fun Let's Play and a less stressful one, so I'm all for that. We've got only 6 chips left, so let's look around up here. We haven't been up to this area yet, but now that we got the flippers, we are free to roam around, which is good. We got some cloners here, but looks like they will need to be used in order to clear the path to the skates. And it looks like each one will need to be used by the looks of the way they're aimed here, because they'll all go into the water after they blow up each bomb. We got 1 chip left, and I'm not sure where. Oh wait, the green key, right. I'm trying to remember where to use that, though. Somewhere around here. Not down here. Where is that? I know it's around here somewhere close by. I could have sworn that there was a corresponding... Oh, wait a minute. It was here, wasn't it? The red one, that's right. We don't need the green one yet. For now, we can just do this. And this. Wait, didn't we use the green one earlier? Did we use the green one? I forget. It's been a while. I'm gonna wait for that, because on my previous attempt at recording this, I barely made that by not stopping, so I'm not gonna risk that again. Okay, I guess we must have already used the green key. Well, let's read this. Sometimes when you don't need your boots anymore, they can be more of a hindrance than a help. As demonstrated here, because it would behoove us to get rid of the boots in order to make it to the exit safely. I think you can do so without getting rid of the boots, but it is really hard, so I'm gonna, just for the sake of making it there safely, I will do that. Alright, Life, the Universe, and Everything has been finished. And now we take on Checkmate. That's an interesting title. This level is kind of a little annoying. It's basically based on the concept that things look impossible, but there's always a way out. And I like the idea, but it is somewhat narrow and rigid compared to a lot of the levels in the set. Like, that ship right there, I mean, that's pretty narrow. You'll notice that the chips counter reads 0 for this entire level. And that's actually one of the, I think it may have been the only thing, actually, that was changed in the latest version of the set that I tried to download, but it messed up everything that I mentioned in the last video. Let's start the cloner here and run. This part's rather tricky, and I don't think you'll be able to figure this out without dying at least once. Basically, the doors up there are closed, and they won't open up until a point at which these things are passing through, like right there. And because of that, you have to hide in this little spot right here. But it's not immediately obvious that this spot is safe, and it's rather obscure. It's really quite mean compared to some of the other things in this set. Well, we can at least get some easy items here, but before we venture forth, we need to go back and take care of some unfinished business here. Because there was a door I saw of yellow color, and this leads to a block, and I'm going to make sure that block covers that path so that that tank button doesn't get pressed. I guess I didn't have to go that way. I could have just walked through the fire. I didn't even think of that. But no matter, we are on our way. Let's see what this says. 1 second after you reach the end of the force floor, fireballs will clone behind you, so run. Run. Well, let's see here. Looks like this is the best bet for safety. Again, a lot of these things you wouldn't really know unless you tried them and you died, which is a little bit mean. But at any rate, we solved the level, and it was a pretty decent level. And we can move on to Secret Passages, which is actually one of my favorites in this set. Basically, you're granted a bunch of keys at the start, and you need to figure out that there are, in addition to the paths that are clearly outlined here, there are other passages that are hidden. Let's go down here first. Haha, here we go. Thankfully, the passages have appearing walls to guide the way, so you're not completely in the dark. Let's see where this goes. Ah, here we go. Get a chip at the end of that path, which is always good. Let's see where this goes. Another chip, alright. Anything out of this room? Nope, doesn't look like it. So we did have to go through that door. The nice thing about this level is that you are not really required to use the keys in a certain configuration like key arithmetic, which is quite refreshing. What does this say? Psst! There's a pattern for figuring out how many ways there are out of each room, Chip. Yeah, this thief or no boots tile here looks like an actual person in the Microsoft tile set, which I think looks a little bit better because it looks like a person's actually giving you a hint, which I think was the intention. And the pattern that was being discussed here was the fact that each room and the number of paths that lead out of it is determined by how many chips are a part of it. For instance, this room right here has only one chip, and as such, there's no other path in or out of it except the one we used to get inside. This room right here had 3, which correspond to the 3 paths that you can see right here. And this one does too, which means that there must be at least one secret path, which is this one. This is why earlier on, when we went to those dead ends, they had only one chip inside them. And it looks like we reached another dead end. Well, I think we're making some good progress here. This would be a rather interesting level to optimize just because there's so many different combinations, but I think it's lenient enough that you won't really have to worry so much about running out of keys and having to pick all sorts of different combinations of walls as a result, or of door openings. This one had 5 exits, so let's check this one out. And it looks like this will probably lead into this room. Aha, there we go. And those are the only 2 paths out there, so there's no use in opening that door at all. Or 2 doors, yeah, that would have been kind of a waste. Let's see where this goes. Well, unfortunately it doesn't go over there, but it does lead over here, and it looks like the 2 other paths are clearly outlined, and we'll need to go through this one, so let's do that. 4 doors to go. Well, we need to open 4 doors either way, so we might as well just do it this way. And as you can see, we've got at least 2 keys left, probably more, but I'd have to count to be sure. But that is Secret Passages. Great level, great use of blue walls and invisible walls. Highly recommend it for any CCLP. But I personally think it would be good for CCLP 1. Alright, we are now at periodic lasers. Let's see what this is all about. Watch the clock. Every 20 seconds, the security system will shoot lasers into the other room. This is a good example of a level that doesn't really need to have the mechanism behind the scenes shown for this to really work. And at this point, I'm just going to wait for the lasers to switch, because we're 3 seconds away from that. Because basically all you need to know is that there's clone machines cloning, and they switch every 20 seconds. It's kind of like pearl diving in a way, except in a lot of respects, I like this level a lot more, because you can actually tell when everything's going to take place if you're looking at the clock, which is pretty nice, because in pearl diving you kind of had to measure everything rather arbitrarily and count how many squares you had if you really wanted to get specific about it, and there's always that fear that you may not make it back in time, whereas here there's a little bit more of a clear way to tell how much time you have left. And it looks like we barely have enough time to get back, so hopefully we can make it. Oh boy. Yes! Made it. Let's see if I can clear out this bottom area real fast here. I think I can pull it off. Good, alright. Should be able to make it back without a problem. Thankfully this level is pretty forgiving, which is good. Okay, let's run through here and get the last 3. Again, not too hard. And we should be able to exit. And boom! We are done with periodic lasers. Awesome. Teamwork is the next level, and I think I'll just go ahead and solve this because it's not too hard. Your bomb disposal units may consist of up to 8 gliders and as many walkers as you need. Before we do that, let me just show you what this looks like. Basically, there's a bunch of bombs and there's blocks, and you can use any combination of gliders and walkers and blocks to make this all work out and for all the bombs to be blown up. But because you get unlimited walkers, you can just totally spam the clone machine and have them all do the work for you. Yeah, I'm not a particularly big fan of this level, if I have to be honest. It's because you can spam the Walker clone machine, it does kind of cheapen everything a little bit. If you had like limited walkers, that would make things a little bit more interesting, especially in light of the fact that you have blocks to help direct things everywhere. And as such, I think the level could have worked as a late entry into this particular set. Well, I'm not going to wait for them to go down here. I'll just go and blow this up. Except I didn't even need to do that. I could have just approached it from the other direction, right? Oh well. Let's see what we got here. We're going to have to be careful here. Concentrate. Whereas Yoda likes to say, concentrate! I always thought that moment was so funny in Episode 5 of Star Wars. That when he like fell off the big pile of stuff that Luke was levitating when he was being trained. That was a fun moment. Fun times. Okay, 7 left. Maybe this whole spamming idea was taken a little too far. Yeah, this may not have been the safest option, but it was kind of fun. it just kind of makes things a little bit too simple as far as using the clone machines in an interesting way, because it seems like that was the intent of this level. Okay, where are the other two? I know I saw one that I didn't go for earlier. Was that in the middle? That was somewhere. Oh, there we go. Bottom. Okay, where's that last one? I know that last one's got to be here somewhere. Okay, where are you? There you are. That's gonna be kind of hairy, but whoa. That could have ended terribly. Thankfully it did not. Okay, now we can get out of here. Now we can get out of here. Right? Maybe? Question mark? No, I moved too late there. Okay, well let's try it again, but this time let's be a little bit less zealous with the button spamming. Thankfully, most of these require only one bomb to be blown up to really get access to the ships, which is nice. And you can use the blocks to help compensate as well. Okay, maybe I need a few more. Or maybe I just need to move some of these out of the way. Maybe that's the key. I was so close last time, but we'll get it this time. I'll get 5 more. That won't hurt. Let's get you up here. Let's see, we need 1 more on that side. If it hasn't already been blown up, which thankfully it hasn't. Let's see, what about this side? We haven't really been here yet, have we? There we go. This is going a little bit better than the last run. Well, a little bit better in terms of controlling all this chaos, but not so much in terms of getting the bombs blown up. Let's see, I'm going to go ahead and go for this guy here. Oh, come on, really? Let's try this again. Okay, that should be enough. I don't think we'll have to worry about spamming the button anymore. Let's get this before anything else comes down through there, as well as that. Oh, why am I doing that? That is so ridiculous. Okay, enough dying. This can't go on. Okay, I know I could use a glider and it would be a lot easier, but I'm not exactly in a very strategic mood tonight. let's see, we can get to this. Good, good, good. And that was really risky. I should not have done that. Let's carry you somewhere. Why don't we take you to this guy? And get you. One thing I've noticed about a lot of Agimium's levels is that he doesn't tend to fill up the entire map, which is a very good quality, because a lot of designers do that, and sometimes levels can wear out their welcome. But unlike a lot of designers who don't fill up the entire map, he tends to stop short of filling up the entire map, and then have these little protrusions with chips and stuff in them, which I think is interesting. I've never seen that before. Like this one, it almost extends to the very edge. Not quite so much on this side as it is on the other side, but in a lot of his levels, the whole thing almost goes to the edge, but not quite. I thought that was rather interesting. Let's see, here we go. One left, and looks like we're going to need to bring a block, which I don't know if we really have any left, which I don't think we do. That could be oh wait, no, we do have one, okay. The question is that one up there blown? Good, it's blown up, that's good, okay. I was going to say, if that wasn't blown up yet, then we would be in big trouble. Big, big trouble. Up there, you can also see the mechanism that ensures that only 8, I believe it was 8, gliders are cloned. It was a tank. But we didn't use it in the end. Well, we will continue with Touch Force Floor Get Dizzy in the next video.